All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to break down the exact formula channels are using to pull in millions of subscribers with completely free AI tools. Let's dive right in. So let's just start with a number, a big one, that proves this thing actually works. Check this out. One single channel, using this exact method, pulled in almost 3 million subscribers. And get this, they did it with less than 100 short videos. I mean, just think about that growth rate for a second. It's insane. So the question on everyone's mind is, how is that even possible? And, more importantly, how can you do the exact same thing for free? Well, that's what we're here for. Let's break down the mechanics. Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting. It all starts not with fancy AI or tech, but with psychology. Yeah, the secret sauce behind these crazy viral shorts is a super specific, repeatable formula for storytelling, one that plugs directly into our emotions. So the core of the strategy is this two-part emotional hook. First, you pull the viewer in with a really sad beginning. Then, you hold on to them with a struggle that feels totally relatable. See, this whole thing is engineered. It's designed to max out your watch time because it creates this immediate emotional investment. You just have to know what happens. And these stories, they pretty much always kick off with a scene that's designed to be sad. Think of a poor little puppy being bullied or losing his home. It creates this instant empathy, right? And it makes you, the viewer, absolutely need to see how it turns out. And all of this whole emotional setup, it feeds directly into the #1 rule of the YouTube algorithm. Forget flashy titles, forget keywords. The only thing that truly matters for going viral is viewer retention. How long can you keep people watching? So, think of it like this. Here's the pecking order for what makes a short go viral. Sure, titles and tags, they might help YouTube find your first few viewers. But it's the story's power to grab that attention and not let go. That's what screams to the algorithm, hey, push this out to millions of people. All right, so you've hooked them with sadness, you've held them with the struggle, now you gotta deliver the goods. The story has to end with a happy, satisfying payoff. This gives the viewer that rush of feel-good emotion, which makes them way more likely to hit that like button, subscribe, and even share it. Okay, so we've got the psychology locked in. Now let's get our hands dirty with the actual AI workflow. First things first, we need to create a unique and consistent character for our stories. And we're going to start with a tool you've definitely heard of, ChatGPT. But here's the trick. We're only going to use its image generation one time, just once. The goal is to create a clean, high-quality reference image of our main character. This single image becomes the blueprint for everything that follows. All right, we've got our character. Now it's time to actually build the world for our story. So let's dive into the free AI tools that are going to generate every single scene for us. So the main workhorse, the engine for creating all of our scenes, is going to be Google AI Studio. This is where the magic really happens. We'll combine our character's reference image with simple text prompts, and poof, we get all the visuals for our story. And the workflow itself, it's ridiculously simple. Seriously, you just upload your character, you set the aspect ratio to that vertical 9:16 for shorts, and then you just describe the scene you want in plain English. The AI literally does all the heavy lifting. Now, here's a pro tip. Always have backups. Sometimes one AI tool just won't give you the exact look you're going for. So if Google AI Studio isn't quite cutting it, you can just hop over to other powerful and free alternatives like Gemini or Meta AI to get pretty much the same result. Okay, so now we've got a folder full of awesome static scenes. But wait, shorts are videos, right? So how do we make these pictures move? Well, for that, we turn to this fantastic tool called Gok AI. Its whole job is to animate still images. And you won't believe how fast this is. You upload your image, you type a short description of the action you want, like the puppy is cleaning the toilet, and in less than 20 seconds, you have an animated clip. Seriously. Just don't forget to hit the upscale button to make it nice and crisp HD, and you are good to go. All right, we're in the home stretch. We've generated our character, we've animated our scenes. Let's move to the final stage, the editing bay, and see how this all comes together to create that polished, high-retention video that's gonna pop off. And you know what? The editing, using a totally free app like CapCut, is probably the easiest part. The main thing to focus on is fast pacing. You want to keep each clip to just 3 or 4 seconds max and use simple transitions like a basic black fade just to keep the story flowing and keep that viewer totally glued to the screen. Okay, stop. Pay attention because this is a super critical step that so many people get wrong. You have to, I repeat, have to mute any audio that came with those AI clips. Your sound design needs to be deliberate. You're going to manually add every single sound effect to squeeze out the maximum emotional impact. And for the final touches, you're going to layer in those specific sound effects we talked about. A crying sound for the sad part, a happy laugh for the ending. You can get all of these for free from sites like Pixabay. And for the background music, here's the key. Always use YouTube's own audio library when you're uploading. That way, you 100% avoid any copyright headaches. It's that simple. So, there you have it. A clear, replicable formula that combines basic human psychology with a bunch of free AI tools. And it works. It works incredibly well right now. Which, of course, leaves us with one last kind of mind-blowing question to think about. What happens to content creation when AI can not only make the pictures, but can also engineer the perfect, emotionally manipulative, viral story all on its own?